Hi, students. Welcome to CLAT Simplified. This is Siddharth Mehta, author of CR Nuggets for Law Exam. So, welcome to this series in which we are discussing the actual CLAT 2021 English section passage. This is the sixth video, and today I will be discussing the final passage, the last passage that came in the CLAT 21 exam of English section. So, let us begin. This was the passage. If you want, you can stop the video and read it. I will be showing what are the key elements in the passage that you need to focus upon, and then we will be looking at the questions. All right, so this is the passage, and according to me, these are the things that are important. Things in yellow are very, very important. They are more important because things in yellow, they tell me what is the author's view on the entire topic. So the first line is an important line because it sets the entire tone of what is coming next. So first line says that a new report forecasting that India can create million more jobs over the coming years in the gig economy underscores a fundamental shift in the nature of work. So it is about a new report, and the report says that in coming years, India will create million more jobs, and author has termed this as gig economy, and says that this is a fundamental shift in the nature of the work. So these lines are just setting up the context. If you see, these lines do not have author's opinion related to the subject. But if we move ahead, now he says that although the jury is still out on the quality of life accorded by such gigs and social security benefits they accord, recall that informalization of jobs started much earlier. So thing in yellow is author's opinion. Now he is saying that informalization of jobs has started much earlier. Although we do not know that what will be the quality of life that will be that is accorded by such gigs, such a gig economy, and what will be the social security benefit. So this is what author is saying. And now the author cites the report by Boston Consulting. All the facts and figures are given. Then the thing in yellow is again author's opinion. Obviously, technological evolutions are hard to predict. And if we accept that change as the sole constant, it is equally critical to create the socio-economic framework that can support such jobs. So basically, the first paragraph is about there will be several new jobs that will be created in the gig economy. Now, what do we mean by gig economy? If you read the second line, you will get what is the gig economy. But that is right now not important. Right now, important is what is the author trying to say. So he's saying that there are several jobs that will be created in gig economy. Although we cannot comment about the quality of life that such gig economy will give, but the change is the only constant, and that's why economy is shifting to the gig economy. But author is putting a caveat: it is equally critical to create the social economic framework that can support such jobs. Now if you read this part, he says that we don't know whether social security benefit will be there or not, and the last line corresponds to this only, that it is critical to create the socio-economic framework. Now, the next paragraph: expecting startups fueled by venture capital and presently unprofitable to treat gig workers as regular employees isn't practical. So, author is now giving his view on why he thinks that socio-economic framework is important. Such moves could impede innovation and investment. But if central and state government could deliver in areas like public health, education, insurance, this, then irregular employment can be managed better. So what he is saying is that why we need socio-economic framework to support such jobs, because these jobs mainly are fueled by startups, and startups can't be expected to treat all the employees as regular employees. And that is why government need to take care of the basic amenities to support the gig economy. And author then cites that what happened during the last year's nationwide lockdown, and again gives a further evidence that why government should play a critical role. Last line important: there is room for optimism in the rapidly emerging tech mediated world, but only upon strengthening the support of educational and health infrastructure. So basically, if we read the entire passage, the main idea is that gig economy is going to create millions of jobs, but to support the economy, participation of government in terms of socio-economic framework, in terms of providing health, education, and the basic amenities is absolutely essential. This is what the passage is about. Let us see the report by Boston Consulting Group. So this report is mentioned here. So question is being asked from this particular area, right? It predicts massive rise in gig jobs in decade. Yeah, that's what it says. It says that 90 million flexi in gig jobs in a decade from 8 million now. So definitely it is a massive rise. Predicts fundamental shift in the nature of work. This is not mentioned with respect to this report. Yes, fundamental shift in the nature of work has been mentioned somewhere in the passage. It's here, but it is not with respect to the Michael and Suzanne Dell Foundation report and the Boston Consulting Group report. It is not with respect to that. So this is a trap given in the passage, but not with respect to what question is being asked. Predicts massive rise in world's GDP. It's not mentioned. Only with the GDP is mentioned only with respect to India, and hence B and C cannot be the answer. Answer has to be A. Next, which of the following can be inferred as a caution by the author? Caution. All right. Central and governments must ensure management of public health, education, insurance, and good security, insurance and food security, anxieties of gig workers. All right. Is there a caution here? Anything? There is it is something that author has suggested, but there is no caution here that if they don't do it, what will happen? Next, expecting treatment of gig workers as regular employees could impede innovation and investment. This certainly is a caution that author has said that if you expect treatment of gig workers as regular employees by startups, it could impede the innovation. It's mentioned here, right? So this definitely looks like answer. Let us look at C. If educational and health infrastructure support is not strengthened, gig economy will fail. We can't say that it will fail. So this is extreme to say that gig economy will fail. So this cannot be the answer. All we can say is that if these things are not provided, then it will be difficult for gig economy to support the jobs. So all we can say is that not that it will fail. It is critical to create the socio-political framework that can support gig jobs. Yes, author has again said this thing, but this is again not a caution. It is his suggestion. So answer is option number B, because B has something of caution there. D and A are not having that element of caution in them. 3. In the context of the passage, which of the following best describes gig economy? Informally structured economy with skill-based short-term or freelance labor. This certainly looks to be one of the choices, because it has talked about that informalization of jobs started much earlier. Yeah, it's here, and it also talks about that these are skill based short term or freelance labor, because author has talked about that these people do not get regular income. So A looks like one choice. Let us look at B. A fundamental shift in the nature of work in an economy. Is this the definition of gig economy, or it is simply something that has happened? Now there was economy which was running under condition A. Now it is condition B, and this condition is gig economy, for example, and this is the traditional economy. So author has simply said that things have transited from A to B. That doesn't mean that transition is equal to gig economy. So that this is not describing gig economy. This is the process of transition from A to B. So this cannot be the answer. If this cannot be the answer, then D also cannot be the answer. Let us look at C. Economy characterized by startups fueled by venture capital. We can't say that it is characterized. There are startups. Yes, author has mentioned that there are startups, but we cannot say that that startups are essential part of gig economy. So the best answer out of A and C is option A. C, we are doubtful that whether we can say that or not. So that's why answer is A. The tone of the passage is cynical. Cynical means pessimistic or doubting the intention. So this certainly is not the tone. Critical. Critical means reviewing things in deep, yeah, or it means that criticizing. So both the things doesn't fit. Scornful is too negative. If you look at the tone, the author is actually optimistic about the gig economy, although author has suggested few steps to be taken. So A and C can be ruled out directly. Sanguine means optimistic or cheerful. So now we have the option between critical or sanguine. Now, if we look at the author's opinion, he is not critical. Author is optimistic that gig economy will do well. Even in the last part, he has said there is room for optimism, right? And he has suggested, even in the beginning, he has suggested that it can create 1 million jobs. The thing is that he has presented a caveat also with that. So just because of that, we cannot say that it is critical. The answer is sanguine. Remember, our main idea was, what was the main idea? Main idea was that gig economy will create several jobs in coming year, millions of jobs in coming year. And to make it really count, government should do something. Government should provide the socio-economic framework. So just because of that, we cannot say that tone as critical, and the answer has to be sanguine. Fifth, according to the passage, which of the following comes as a concern related to gig economy? Lack of educational and health infrastructure, is this definitely is a concern. Temporary nature of work, the quality of life and social security, none of the above. Now we have answer is none of the above. Had it been all of the above, A and C could have come directly, right? But none of the above is given. That means I have to choose only one between A, B, and C. So let me look at it closely. Lack of educational and health infrastructure, temporary nature of work, the quality of life, and the social security. Now, the biggest concern is the quality of life and social security, and the quality of life and social security inside themselves, inside quality of life and social security, there are things related to education, health infrastructure, and the other things that author has mentioned, food security, insurance. So C is a better choice to mark. A are just examples of it. Had it been all of the above, I would have been tempted to mark all of the above. But since I have to mark one, I ruled out B because that was the least likely to be the right answer. And out of A and C, C summarizes it in a better way. So that's why answer is C. So that is it from my side. With this video, we have completed the analysis of the English section of CLAT 21. We will shortly be starting with the logical reasoning section.